used two different technology tools in this project, one being FlipSnack to make the visual, and two being Screencastify and Hippo Video to record my audio. Let's begin. Our school currently has a total of 1,384 students enrolled, 459 sixth graders, 461 seventh graders, and 464 eighth graders. The breakdown in our demographics shows that we have a strong white population with 610 students, followed closely by our Hispanic population of 419 students. 170 students are African American, and 144 students are Asian. Our smallest groups are American Indian at 9 students and just 1 Pacific Islander. Economically disadvantaged and non-educationally advantaged make up the two largest sections with 399 students and 985 students, respectively, while at risk is 389 students and ELL has 48 students currently in the program. Using the ancient proverb as a base, the Welsh backs it up with research percentages. When I hear, I forget. 5% retention rate after 24 hours. What I see, I remember. 30% retention rate if use of audio-visual and demonstration. What I do, I understand. 80% retention rate with discussion and practice by engagement. Which all shows us that with student growth, which is the change in student achievement for an individual student between 2 or more points in time, comes a much-needed differentiation approach from educators. To promote growth in education, one must start from a baseline using the data gathered on each student. You have to make sure that all students, regardless of ability levels, are included because everyone can show growth. Students can show various levels of growth and have individualized finish lines. It doesn't matter where they start out or where they end up. My focus for our next school year is when it comes to diversity in schools. I think our library, classroom, teaching, and day-to-day behaviors need to reflect this growth in our education and show our students that it's a really big deal and one we can no longer overlook. Friendships matter throughout life, and in early adolescence, they provide validation and emotional support. Now, a new study has found that friendships across ethnic groups in urban middle schools help protect youth from feeling vulnerable, making them feel less lonely and at the same time safer. As the population of children in the United States grows increasingly diverse, the growth of information about learning more about diversity grows also. I have included a video on this page. It is too long to watch at the moment, but definitely one to put on your list because Deborah Ford explores the importance of diversity in our library program. In 4 ways to strengthen diversity in our library program, she shares tips on how to add diversity to our teaching strategies, programs, and marketing throughout this informative webcast. You will learn about the most sought-after diverse books that are perfect for book lovers of all ages. There are several facets to information literacy and the library's role. Digital inclusion and e-safety. The information literate person can find and exchange information using digital means and is therefore digitally included, empowered, and in a position to benefit from the financial, economic, and social advantages the internet can offer. However, critical evaluation skills of information literacy are also essential for e-safety. For example, through validating authenticity and security in addition to knowing how and when to present information. Avoiding plagiarism. Plagiarism has become an important issue in recent years. Without sufficient information, literary skills to handle, record, and use information well, the students open themselves to allegations of plagiarism. Social citizenship. In society at large, information literacy is increasingly important for effective democracy, as our students must be able to seek and compare information and to evaluate its source and content. Information literacy is essential to developing effective citizenship skills for education and for life. Literary skills. Information literary reinforces both reading and writing skills. Reading skills are practiced in a task-oriented way when seeking information. Writing skills are reinforced when recording and presenting. As students develop the skills to use library and information resources and locate information, they are encouraged to practice reading in a sustainable way. Supporting independent reading of varying information quality is more abundant than for previous generations. Children will be faced with more disoriented information challenges as they grow up. Education must equip the next generation to navigate the developing information landscape. Information literacy fosters skills required for researching, evaluating, and putting information into context, which is essential for independent and lifelong learning. It has been demonstrated that when librarians and teachers work together, students achieve higher levels of literacy, reading, learning, problem solving, and information and communication technology skills. O'Neill says information literacy is knowing when and why you need information, where to find it, and how to evaluate, use, and communicate it in an ethical manner. There are many library standards that support our need for growth when it comes to diversity, such as Standard 1, the cultural awareness of self and others. Librarians and library staff should develop an understanding of their own personal and cultural values and benefits as a first step in appreciating the importance of multicultural identities in the lives of the people they work with and serve. Standard 2, cross-cultural knowledge and skills. Librarians and library staff shall have and continue to develop a specialized knowledge and understanding about the history, traditions, values, and artistic expressions of colleagues, co-workers, and major constituencies served. Standard 3, organizational and professional values. Librarians and library staff shall develop and support organizational and professional values dedicated to culturally competent service. Standard 4, development of collections, programs, and services. Librarians and library staff should develop collections and provide programs and services that are inclusive of the needs of all persons in the community the library serves. Standard 6, language diversity. Librarians and library staff should support the preservation and promotion of linguistic diversity and work to foster a climate of inclusion aimed at eliminating discrimination and oppression based on linguistic or other diversities. Standard 9, cross-cultural leadership. Library leaders shall influence, support, and encourage the creation of proactive processes that increase diversity skills, empower colleagues, co-workers, and constituents from diverse backgrounds, share information about diverse populations, and advocate for their concerns. What are the emergency technologies in library services? Makerspaces. Every library, well, not every, but most all nowadays, have a makerspace section in our library. User-focused interfaces. Cloud technologies. It's the ability to work from anywhere. Single sign-on technology. This comes in handy when you're trying to remember a lot of different usernames and passwords. And digital displays allows library books that we can use multiple facets of way to promote them. There are several digital skills we should be teaching our students. Digital intelligence, or DQ, the set of social, emotional, and cognitive abilities that enable individuals to face the challenges of our digital life. Digital identity, create and manage your own personal identity and reputation. Digital use, being able to use digital devices and media. Digital safety, manage our risks online. Digital security, detect cyber threats. Digital emotional intelligence, which is the ability to be empathetic and build good relationships with others online. Digital communication, ability to communicate and collaborate with others. Digital literacy, be able to find, evaluate, utilize, and share content, as well as creating it. And finally, digital rights, the ability to understand and uphold personal and legal rights. Get excited about technology. There are so many things out there nowadays, and it's growing by the minute. The Horizon reports let us know what exactly is going on now and what's to come, and how best to approach it, such as 3D printing, flexible displays, environmental sensors, cloud connecting services, streaming services, the internet, its massive self, wireless charging, virtual reality, electric vehicles, and robotics. The school library's impact on a higher test or exam scores equating to academic attainment. This includes academic attainment in the form of higher standardized test scores in reading, language arts, history, and math, and better grades in curriculum assignments or exams. The school's library impact on teaching and learning is massive. We really need to focus on a lot of things these days. A successful curriculum or learning outcomes, including information literacy. This includes higher quality project work, the development and practice of information literacy, increased knowledge and reading development, and positive attitudes toward learning, including increased motivation, improved attitude toward learning tasks, self-esteem, and wider reading for pleasure. The elements of the library which contribute to the impact on learning, such as a qualified full-time librarian who is proactive in managerial status, the availability of support staff to undertake routine tasks, enabling the librarian to initiate instructional, collaborative, and promotional activities, as well as professional duties to support collection development. A library that supports physical and virtual access to resources in the library, classrooms at home, during school hours and beyond. An adequate physical and virtual collection that is current, diverse, and supports the curriculum, as well as appealing to the students' leisure needs. Network technology to support information, access and use, and knowledge-building dissemination. Instruction that supports individual and curriculum needs of students and teachers, encompassing subject content, information literacy, and voluntary reading interests. Collaboration with teaching colleagues, senior management, librarian colleagues, and outside agencies, including central school library services, to ensure the most appropriate services are delivered in support of learning. Thank you, Williams, Wavell, Morrison. Excellent list. I want to thank y'all for coming today and listening to what I had to say. It was an excellent time and project to participate in. Thank you.